A young man named Hiragi, a high school teacher, is taking his class. He is like a teacher who is often teased and mocked by his students because he is nerdy and quiet. For example, this morning, when he was seen carrying some large boxes, suddenly, his students came and threw the boxes in an act of mischief. But today, he is different. Hiragi has made all of the Class 3A students his hostages until his goal is achieved. He announces that the students can't leave the class without his permission. Hearing this, all the students are confused, and some are laughing, thinking that the teacher is just joking. All of the students in this class are going to graduate within 10 days, so they think this is some type of prank. But Hiragi's expressions don't change at all. Meanwhile, a boy named Kai stands up from his seat and wants to go out, but it turns out that the door is locked. Kai then shouts at Hiragi and attacks him, wanting him to open the door, but Hiragi overcomes Kai easily, and then takes a folding knife from his pocket, saying that it is not allowed here. Two of Kai's friends also try to attack Hiragi, but Hiragi fights them well. After that, Hiragi says that he is not joking about anything and then presses a button on his watch. Suddenly, a large explosion occurs on the top floor, which closes the way out of the building. The other teachers and other students immediately go out of the building hearing the explosion, but Class 3A is still in there. Hiragi opens the door now, but the way out is blocked in the gallery. They are the only students trapped in the school building, and the only rooms that can still be accessed are their classroom, the art room, and the toilet. Hiragi says that there are more bombs all over the school area, which are ready to explode at any time. He then takes the cell phones and bags of all the students in a big container. He even knows who has double phones and also takes the other ones. He uses the fear of bombs to make all the students obey him. Then he asks all the students to guess the reason why he is doing this. Someone answers that he is doing this because students used to make fun of him all the time, and now he is taking revenge. Hiragi says that although students tease them a lot, it is not the actual reason. Hiragi then goes to an empty chair and sits on it, making all the students immediately remember who used to sit there. She was a beautiful and charming female student named Reina. Her seat is empty now because she ended her own life. It turns out that Hiragi captured them due to Reina's death. Kai says that Reina's death has nothing to do with them, but Hiragi doesn't think so. He thinks that one of the students in this class took part in Reina's death. In today's assignment, Hiragi wants his students to answer the question of why Reina died. He says that if their answer is correct, Hiragi will release all of them, but if their answer is incorrect, then one of them will die today. Hiragi will wait for their answer until 8 o'clock in the evening. Then Hiragi says that the person in charge of answering why Reina died is another girl named Sakura sitting at the front desk. Hearing all this, Kai is annoyed and tries to break the window with a chair, but it turns out that Hiragi has replaced it with thick, unbreakable glass. Then Hiragi leaves the class with bags of mobile phones and goes to the art room, giving his students time to think about the answer. The students try to get help by shouting and showing signs of help through the windows, but Hiragi announces through the speakers that the outsiders can't see them because of these glasses. Hiragi has also installed cameras in the classroom so he can see his students. Outside the school building, the headmaster and other teachers are present. Police have also come to the spot and evaluated the situation, but Hiragi has installed the speakers outside, through which he asks them not to enter the building, otherwise, he will explode the bombs. For proof, he explodes a bomb behind them, frightening everyone. The scene shifts back to the class, where the students are discussing what they should do. They can only do one thing, and that's to find the answer to the reason why Reina committed the unthinkable. They also talk about Hiragi and why he went this far for Reina. The students then say that Sakura was Reina's close friend, so maybe Sakura knows something. But Sakura doesn't answer anything. She is in her memories, remembering how close she was to Reina. When Reina was alive, the first time Sakura and Reina met was when Sakura secretly took pictures of Reina swimming in the pool. Reina was a national athlete and won many medals in swimming competitions. Her achievements made Keio High School proud. One day, Reina caught Sakura with dozens of photos of herself on the table. Sakura went to sleep seeing all those photos. When Reina caught her, she became embarrassed. She apologized and said that Reina was like a goddess to her. Reina likes that Sakura loves her so much in disguise, so they become good friends. They then exchanged their phone numbers, and that's how their friendship started. They often hung out together and used to go home from school together. But after some days, a video of Reina was leaked where she was seen taking some drugs before her match. This indicated that she was doping in her matches. Back to the present, when Kai suddenly says that Reina used drugs and the swimming club should be responsible for Reina's death, not them. Other students also agreed with him, but several students from the swimming club in that class do not accept it. They think that there should be some other reason that compelled Reina to commit the unthinkable. At 7:45 p.m., Hiragi comes to class again and goes straight to Sakura to get the answer to his question. Sakura, after being silent for some time, finally says that all the students in her class bullied Reina because of her doping scandal. It wasn't just her seat that was crossed up many times, but the news was also very viral on social media about her doping. She didn't have the courage to fight back. Also, Sakura ignored Reina, just like other students who thought she didn't even exist. Sakura now thinks that this loneliness and bullying from her class fellows made her commit the unthinkable. Sakura thinks that she is responsible for the death of Reina, as she also distanced from her and ignored her during the days when she needed her most. Though Sakura makes herself the culprit for Reina's death, all the other students feel cornered by her explanation. They think that Sakura is blaming them for the death of Reina. Meanwhile, Kai says that Reina deserved to die because of doping in the matches. At this, Sakura stood up and kicked Kai until he fell on the floor in pain. Sakura says that Kai doesn't know anything about Reina. She loves Reina so much that she can't let anyone bully her now. She takes out the letter given to her by Reina. It was mentioned in the letter to Sakura that she should keep her distance from Reina, as everyone was bullying Reina. She didn't want her friend Sakura to be bullied in the same way. So, she ended her friendship with Sakura at that time. On the letter, one alphabet was faded, indicating that Reina actually wrote it when she was crying. The tears implied a sign that Reina actually wanted to be friends with Sakura, but circumstances forced them apart. So now Sakura thinks that it was her fault that she left Reina at such a crucial time, which made Reina commit the unthinkable. When Sakura has completed her answer, Hiragi starts speaking. He says that the answer is wrong, and the real reason for the death of Reina will come in front of everyone in these 10 days. And now, he wants one student out of the class to kill him because Sakura's answer is incorrect. All the students start to panic, but Hiragi doesn't care and even looks excited. Seeing this, all the students attack him together, but he blows up the roof of the classroom with a bomb, making the students fall silent again. One of the students asks Hiragi to just kill Sakura, because Sakura has admitted her mistake, so she deserves to die. At this, Hiragi shouts, saying that they don't see Sakura's honesty. They want their friend to die in return for their lives. He doesn't want his students to graduate with such bad habits. Suddenly, the alarm sounds, and we see the troops trying to enter the building. Seeing this, Hiragi uses a microphone in his pocket and announces to the police that he doesn't like an intruder coming in. Also, there are laser lights all over the floor through which the police are trying to enter. Then Hiragi picks a student named Rin for today's sacrifice. He takes out a knife from his pocket and then sticks it right in Rin's chest. The screams from students in the class were heard by the police, making the troops finally retreat. The students stare in disbelief that Hiragi has really killed Rin. After that, Hiragi drags Ren's body to the art room. There, he announces to the speakers outside that if they want the hostages to be released, every user of a social media app called Mind Voice must give 100 yen to him. The police check the social media, which has about 50 million users. It means that Hiragi is asking for a ransom of 5 billion yen for leaving the hostages. The following day, Hiragi starts his lesson after a formal bow. He is discussing Reina's death again. He says the news about Reina's doping was spread on a social media app called Mind Voice by someone unknown. Now, he has found an account that was constantly posting the news and posts against Reina. One of the posts, as highlighted by Hiragi, was a video uploaded by that account. It showed a person who was in Reina's locker holding a bottle of some drugs. Here, the video was cut, and then Reina was seen taking those drugs in front of her locker. Of course, from the video, it looks like Reina is doping, but Hiragi is saying that the video is fake and was deliberately made to harm Reina's reputation. He also says that the account owner who posted this video is in this class. First, he asks the owner to come forward on his own, but no one shows up. So, he says that the student's task today is to find out who that person is. Hiragi again gives them time until 8 p.m., and if they don't succeed, then one of them will die today. After that, Hiragi goes to the room from which the police were trying to intrude the previous day. He seals the passage with some metal object. Meanwhile, the students in the class are discussing whether Rin is actually dead or not. Two of the students who went to the art room this morning say they didn't see Ren's body in Hiragi's room. That means Rin might still be alive, and Hiragi is just pretending to kill him. Meanwhile, a student named Usami sees Sakura holding a handkerchief and asks where she got it. Sakura replies that it was a gift from Reina. At this point, Usami looks annoyed, because she remembers the time when Usami had given Reina a similar handkerchief. They also took a photo at that time, and Usami uploaded it, saying that if she uploaded a photo with Reina, her followers could increase. Hearing this, Reina looked sad, because Usami just wanted to be friends with Reina for her popularity and not actual friendship. So, Reina returned that handkerchief to Usami and started ignoring her. Later on, she focused on Sakura as a friend. Meanwhile, some students planned to attack Hiragi again. 2 students came into the toilet room, where Hiragi was repairing the floor with their sticks, and immediately attacked Hiragi. At the same time, 3 other students entered the art room to check whether Rin was still alive or not, but the alarm suddenly sounds when they touch the doorknob, and they also get an electric shock from the door, propelling them behind. Hiragi immediately comes in, hearing the alarm sound. His head is bleeding, as he has come after fighting Kai and the other student in the toilet room. After that, Hiragi came to the classroom around 8 p.m., and announced that if anyone did this again, he would be punished accordingly. Suddenly, he receives a call on his phone, and someone asks him to look through the window outside. When he comes near the window, another student attacks him. His fellows also join him, and they together make Hiragi fall to the ground. First of all, they take Hiragi's watch, but Hiragi uses another watch around her leg to explode a bomb. Seeing this explosion, everyone shatters off him. The watch that the students snatched from him is fake. Now, as a punishment, he lines up the students in a corner. Above them is a bomb, and he threatens them to explode it. But then suddenly, a student comes ahead and says that Hiragi doesn't need to explode the bomb if he finds the owner of the account, which he mentioned in the morning, but no one has yet come to accept that he is the owner. So, Sakura comes ahead and admits that she owns the account from which the video was posted, but Hiragi wants confirmation, so he asks Sakura to tell him the password for the Mind Voice account. But Sakura doesn't know the answer, so it is evident that she is not the owner, and is just doing this to save her fellows. Then Usami comes ahead and says that she is the real owner of the account. She even tells the password to the account. Hiragi puts the password, and it turns out that it is correct. So, she is the owner of the account. All the students in the class couldn't believe that Usami could do it to Reina. It turns out that before Reina knew Sakura, Usami was close to Reina, and they often went home together. But since Sakura appeared, Usami felt neglected by Reina. That's the reason why Usami used to follow Reina and terrorize her. She even threw stones through Reina's window, breaking the glass. Reina once begged Usami not to bother her anymore, but Usami said that she would stop teasing her if Reina ended her life. However, Usami says that she was not the one who had recorded the video. She just uploaded it because she found the DVD in her locker left there by someone. She was so jealous that she didn't think about the after effects of that video and just uploaded it to make Reina suffer. Now, she is weeping and accepting her blunder, saying all this. Meanwhile, Hiragi comes near her and says that Usami has lived her whole life blaming other people, and doesn't want to listen to anyone. He says that she should now mend her ways of living, but Usami doesn't like being lectured by Hiragi. But Hiragi says that he is the teacher and that he must guide Usami. That's why Hiragi is standing in front of his students today. He asks Usami to imagine how painful it would be if someone cut her clothes, threw stones at her window, and also slandered her on social media. Hearing that, Usami sits down crying. To comfort her, Sakura gives her the handkerchief from Reina. After that, Hiragi goes towards the door and says they will continue the lesson tomorrow. One of them protests why they are still being held hostages as now the real culprit is captured, but Hiragi replies that the person who recorded the video has not been found. Until that person is found, they will remain here. The next morning is the 3rd day the students are held hostage. Hiragi starts the lesson by showing the video that Usami posted on Mind Voice. Usami did not record this video, but the recorder is someone in this class. This time, when Hiragi asks the person behind the video to show up himself, Kai raises his hand, saying that he asked his friend Satomi to record that video. Then Hiragi asks him to tell who doctored that video into the fake one. In the original video, Reina was taking some supplements, but someone changed the label of the medicine, showing that she was doping. At this point, Kai says that he doctored the video. However, Hiragi is sure that some expert has done it, and Kai can't do this as he is just a high school student. Also, Kai does not reveal the name of the person who asked him to edit it. That's why Hiragi gives them the time to answer his question about who edited the video till 8 p.m. And if they fail to answer, then 10 students will die today. After that, a student tells Sakura that Kai once saved Reina from a mischievous gang named Belms. Hearing this, Sakura then approaches Kai and thanks him for saving Reina, but Kai doesn't seem to care. Sakura tries to ask him why he edited that video, but Kai is still silent on this question. The scene moves outside the school, showing Kai's siblings approaching the police. They want to ask about Kai, who has not returned yet from his school even after 3 days. Seeing them, 2 teachers take the children back to their home, where they see that Kai's mother is sick and bedridden. She injured her spine in an accident, and now she can't move herself. Kai has 2 younger siblings he has to look after as his mother can't do that now. Kai's mother says that Kai once dreamed of becoming a dancer, but suddenly, Kai's mother met an accident. So, Kai was forced to work here and there to meet their daily needs, and also to take care of his mother. Finally, Kai buried his dream of becoming a dancer and started working hard to make ends meet. At that time, one of his dancer fellows asked Kai if he was Reina's classmate. Kai's friend said there are lots of Reina's fans here. If Kai can bring Reina to meet them, then he will get 200,000 yen, and he can become a dancer again. Kai didn't want this, but he was forced to agree because he really needed money for his family. So, one night, Kai convinced Reina to come with him and took her to a quiet place to meet her fans. But unexpectedly, the people who wanted to meet Reina turned out to be members of the Belms gang, and they tried to forcefully take Reina with them. Kai didn't know this would happen, so he immediately beat them all to save Reina. Then Kai was offered money to make a video of Reina. This time, he was threatened that his family would be hurt if he didn't make the video recording, so he asked his friend Satomi to make a video of Reina. Back to the present, Hiragi tries to talk to Kai. He wonders if Kai is hiding something, but while they're talking, Hiragi suddenly looks very sick. He can't even stand straight due to the pain, and Kai is just standing silently, looking at him. In the evening, Hiragi enters the class to get today's answer. He wants to know who edited Reina's video, but Kai doesn't want to disclose the name of the editor. So, Kai invites Hiragi to fight with him. If Hiragi wins, Kai will say everything, but if Kai wins, Hiragi has to free them all. Though his condition is very bad, Hiragi accepts the challenge and secretly takes Lieutenant Gunji on the call to let him hear everything. Then they start to fight. In the middle of the fight, Hiragi occasionally says that at that time, Kai invited Reina somewhere just to get some money. Because of Kai, Reina was almost hurt, but Hiragi asks why Kai ended up saving her. Hiragi also knows that the person who manipulated Reina's video was a member of Belms. At that time, Kai handed over the video to Belms, and in return, he got money. Hiragi thinks that Kai was jealous of Reina's success because she managed to achieve her dream of becoming a national athlete, while Kai's dream of becoming a dancer was destroyed. At this, Kai finally admits that it's true he was jealous of Reina. He says that when students of his age were chasing their dreams, Kai was forced to work for his family. Kai felt that life was unfair to him because of his family issues, but Hiragi asks Kai not to blame his family. According to Hiragi, Kai should blame himself for never sharing his sorrows and difficulties with others. Kai endured it all alone until he was trapped in hatred for Reina. Then Kai screams and says that everything's useless because no one will help him. Hearing this, Kai's best friend suddenly approaches him. He feels like he isn't considered a friend, even though he is willing to help him. Even if it wasn't with money, at least he would help Kai to look after his younger siblings. Then Hiragi says that he can't carry all his problems alone. Kai should ask for help if he feels he can't hold it anymore. Hiragi wants him to remember that he is the one who ruined Reina's life. So, now, for the sake of Reina, Kai has to tell the truth about the person who manipulated the video. But Kai is screaming and saying that if he reveals his name, his family will definitely be in danger. Previously, Kai was threatened by this goon not to tell the truth, otherwise, his family would be in danger. Hiragi asks Kai to trust him, but Kai asks how he can believe in a murderer. Then Sakura suddenly comes and says that Hiragi is not a murderer. Sakura secretly went to the art room when they were fighting, and it turned out that the students that Hiragi killed yesterday were still alive. They are safe in Hiragi's room. Hearing this, everyone takes a sigh of relief. Also, Kai reveals that the person who edited the video is Kishi, who is the leader of the Belms gang. At this, Hiragi gets up and takes his cell phone out of his coat's pocket. He talks to Gunji, who is listening to the whole conversation here. Now, with this information, the police are able to raid the Belms gang's secret place. They beat those goons there and arrested the gang boss, Kishi. Back in class, Hiragi tells Kai that no one can threaten his family anymore. Here, we see that a girl in the classroom has the same locket in her hands as that of the Kishi around his neck. After some time, when the whole class tries to ask Hiragi about the hidden students, he suddenly collapses and faints on the spot. After some time, in search of their fellow students, they go to the art room, where they finally manage to break down the door. There, they also take their cell phones again, but they can't find their 6 friends until they see a door on the floor. They open it and free their fellows from the basement. Hiragi is still unconscious, and the chief of the police, Igarashi, calls Hiragi, whose name is saved as I on the phone. It looks like he is also involved with Hiragi. After that, we see that there is a door to the outside, and some students suggest using it to exit the building. But those 6 students who were just liberated are silent as if they don't want to get out of there. They say that Hiragi actually did all this for them. At that time, when the 5 of them had just woken up, Hiragi said that his purpose in doing all this was to reveal Reina's murderer. They were all confused until Hiragi told them that this case had to be revealed. Otherwise, the next victim might be one of them. Hiragi admitted that he wouldn't have much longer to live, which is why Hiragi teaches them the last lesson through Reina's death so that they can see things more clearly in their lives. Meanwhile, police again come to intrude on the building, but this time, students decide to explode the bombs to stop them. However, some students are against this idea and just want to go back to their homes. The argument heats up, and they start fighting with each other. In the end, when Kai is just about to press the button to explode the bomb, Hiragi comes there. He says that he should press the button so that all the burden of these bad deeds just falls on his shoulders. After that, a girl named Susan mentions that Yuzuki's boyfriend's name is Kishi, and she should be asked if she knows anything about the murder of Reina. Yuzuki is the same girl who has a locket similar to Kishi's. Yuzuki says that she was her girlfriend because she wanted to become a model, and Kishi had connections that were very useful for Yuzuki in pursuing her dream. Moreover, she doesn't know anything and is not involved in any crime. She yells that it's not a very bad thing to use such sources to fulfill dreams. Hiragi also supports her statement that Yuzuki did nothing wrong and that we should not condemn her for anything. Yuzuki reveals that Rishi gave her a necklace and said that she had to take care of it. Now Yuzuki throws that necklace on the ground with so much force that it breaks out, and a memory card hidden inside comes out of it. Hiragi takes the memory card and checks what is inside it using his laptop. It turns out that there is a list of clients in that memory card who ordered Kishi for fake videos. It is mentioned in the list that a teacher from their school ordered a fake video of Reina. Hiragi immediately sends the file to the police. After that, he goes to tackle the police troops who are trying to enter the building. Hiragi explodes another bomb and makes them run back. Meanwhile, the news about the involvement of a teacher in the murder case on the Mind Voice app spreads very quickly. Everyone starts talking about it and condemning this act of the teacher. When everybody is busy on social media, Hiragi plans his further moves and secures the leftover weapons of the police troops. Many people now support Hiragi because they know that Hiragi took his students hostage in order to uncover Reina's murder case, even though Hiragi is considered a hero now. Then, the following day, someone releases a video where a person is taking Reina to a building, and after some time, he returns alone from that building. Through the girl's bag, on which her name is written, and a keychain, it can be estimated that the girl is actually Reina. However, the man's face is totally hidden from the camera. Reina was found dead there after a while. So, everyone is now suspecting that this is the teacher who murdered Reina, but his face is not visible in the video. In the night, Hiragi then announces that the person who asked the Belms to make a fake video about Reina is Take-Shi. Actually, Take-Shi is a narcissistic teacher at that school who just wants fame and money. He even uses this event of hostages to gain popularity, and is now doing shows and ads while his students are kept as hostages under critical conditions. Hearing the allegations against him, Take-Shi is also surprised. He says that Hiragi is jealous of his charm and popularity, and that's the reason he is doing this to him. He announces this to each and every platform he can access, and due to his already strong social media presence, people start to believe him. His popularity has increased, and now he is constantly being followed by press reporters to get a chance to interview him. On the other hand, some people are busy matching the things of Take-Shi, like his shoes, to the shoes of the man in the video who took Reina to that building. Hiragi calls Take-Shi and asks him to confess his crimes. Otherwise, Hiragi would snatch the most beloved of his things from him. Take-Shi doesn't take it seriously, and he just ignores him. He also ignores Hiragi's warning when he asks him to confess in front of everyone. Otherwise, Hiragi would blow up the whole classroom. In the class, some students favor Take-Shi, because Take-Shi has recommended them for admission to a university that they would not get into otherwise. Also, that university is their dream place, so if Take-Shi is captured for his crimes, his recommendations would also be null and void. Hearing this, Hiragi hands over the laptop to the student who is getting a scholarship for the university on Takechi's recommendation, and asks him to find out if it is really Take-Shi or not in the video. Those students don't want to take action against Take-Shi, even though he is involved in it, because their score is not enough to secure admission to the university this way. Meanwhile, the scholarship student and two others plan to attack Hiragi. They find a moment when Hiragi is busy with work on his computers and attack him, but some other students arrive there and save Hiragi from their attack. Hiragi then says it must be very hard for those who are going to leave their scholarship because of Take-Shi, but it is the responsibility of Hiragi as a teacher to uncover the truth. In the night, Take-Shi comes to talk to Hiragi. Take-Shi is confident that he is not involved in any crime, but Hiragi shows him the audio recording in which Take-Shi is talking about the fake video ordered to be made by the Belms gang. Take-Shi still thinks that this is how life works, and he is not ashamed of his act regarding the fake video. Then Hiragi talks to him about Reina, whom Take-Shi also offered a recommendation to a university. But when Reina refused his recommendation, he tried to force her by giving her some money. Actually, Take-Shi gets a commission by referring the students to that university. It's a huge amount of money that he makes by faking the merit of students. When those students go to those universities, they cannot perform well, their lives become difficult, and they feel like they are poor people and they can't compete with other students. In the end, they drop out in the first year, but this time, Take-Shi wanted Reina to go there so that he could get a bonus amount from the university due to her extraordinary performance in the curricular and extracurricular activities. But Reina even rejected the offer of money and didn't want to go to the university with his recommendations. Take-Shi took this to his ego and ordered a fake video from Belms to make Reina suffer. But still, this is not enough evidence to prove that Take-Shi killed Reina. So, Hiragi tells him that the video where a man is taking Reina to that building has been buffered, and it turns out that Takechi's face can be seen in the mirror. So, Take-Shi is the person who took Reina to that building, and after some time, Reina was found dead. Seeing this, Take-Shi becomes anxious. He can't imagine that he is going to jail because of a murder case. In his anxiety, he confesses that he ordered Belms to make a fake video of Reina. Then, Hiragi reveals that they are both live on the Mind Voice app, and the whole nation is watching their conversation through a hidden camera placed above the wall. Then Hiragi shows his extreme anger towards Take-Shi. He says that students are human, not something that he can use to get money. They are still young and don't know the right path. As teachers, they have to guide the students so that they don't walk on the wrong path, and so they won't fail in life. Meanwhile, the police come there and arrest Take-Shi. The whole class is also listening to this conversation. They now come to know Takechi's real intentions and Hiragi's honesty. After that, Hiragi goes back to his art room and sits in front of his computer. He then uploads a video on the social media Mind Voice app. The following day, students see a video that goes viral on social media. It can be seen that the video in which Take-Shi was seen going to that building was fake, and in the actual video, Hiragi is seen to be the one coming out of the building. Students show this real video to each other and now think that Hiragi is the killer. Also, people on social media now condemn Hiragi instead of praising him. When the turmoil among the students taking that video increases, Hiragi comes to the class to answer their questions. He is now going to explain his whole plan. He starts with the story of his girlfriend, Fumika, who was also a teacher and a colleague of Take-Shi. When she found out that Take-Shi fakes student merit while sending them to the universities and earning money in this way, she became angry at him. She was going to complain against him, but Take-Shi contacted Belms' gang and ordered a fake video of Fumika, destroying her reputation as a teacher in society. This broke down Fumika, and she started having mental issues. Still, Fumika remains in her home and doesn't interact with anyone. When Hiragi found out the real reason for the emotional breakdown of his girlfriend, he went to the school to learn about Take-Shi as a teacher, but there, he saw another case of a fake video happening with Reina. Everyone weeps while listening to Hiragi's story. Hiragi then says that he made a plan to uncover the whole truth about these fake video incidents by making students his hostages. He also took the confidence of the current father of Fumika and the biological father of Fumika named Igarashi, who is also the chief of the police. After that, we see Hiragi having taken a hostage of Lieutenant Gunji when he came there to meet him. The police knew that Hiragi wouldn't hurt any of his students, and they planned to break into the building. So Hiragi played a game with Gunji and held him hostage instead. Now, he is using Hiragi to stop police from coming to the building. He takes him to the rooftop with a gun in his hand. He opens fires in the air, threatening everyone present there. Police immediately come to help Gunji out of his trap, but Hiragi explodes some bombs to make them run away again. A bullet is also shot at Hiragi, but he is wearing a bulletproof vest, which saves him from the effect of that bullet. Hiragi announces that he will disclose the truth about the fake video case in the coming morning. He also says that he will come to the live stream on the social media Mind Voice app, and will tell his main objectives there in the morning. The police, media, and the whole nation are watching him. Everyone is interested in what is going to happen in the morning. Actually, one of Hiragi's objectives, which was to grab the attention of the whole nation, has been fulfilled here. In the morning, Sakura comes to her classroom and says that she has to confess something in front of everyone. She thinks that she killed Reina because she was the one who took her to that building's rooftop on the day when Reina died. Sakura wanted to sort things out between her and Reina, and that's why she took Reina there to talk about all the matters. But Reina was not feeling well at that time as her mind was not at peace. Reina was facing an emotional breakout because of all the propaganda against her due to that fake video. She was listening to invisible voices which were torturing her all the time. To avoid all those voices, she left her bag and jumped from the building. Sakura ran towards Reina and held her hand, but Reina told her that she should let her go. Reina wanted an escape, and Sakura did it. She unwillingly left her hand. Now, Sakura thinks that it is her fault that Reina died. Also, she thinks that Hiragi is going to take the charges of the murder of Reina to himself, as he wants to save Sakura from those charges. She tells the class that Hiragi had a dream that he was jumping from the rooftop of that building, committing the unthinkable when his class finally ended. So, the students speculate that Hiragi will end his life after revealing everything to the public. That is why they all run towards the rooftop, but the way is blocked by the heavy stones. Hiragi did this to stop students from coming to the rooftop, but students start to wipe out the stones and make way for them. They start working like a team together, taking all the stones aside one by one. Meanwhile, Hiragi is on the rooftop in a live stream on the Mind Voice app. He is in front of the camera, and people are condemning him because they think that Hiragi is the murderer. Hiragi is reading all the comments simultaneously. He says that the real culprit of the death of Reina is all of you people who are using the Mind Voice app. He then gives a recap of the previous 10 days to the public. He talks about the first day when the public condemned him for taking the students hostage. Also, the public poured out all their anger on him when they came to know that Hiragi had killed 6 students. But after 2 days, when it turned out that Hiragi didn't kill any of the students, the public started praising him. Then he makes them remember the story of Taichi, how the public loved him within a short period of time and gave him a lot of attention and fame. But then the public started condemning him too, when he was charged with the crime of ordering a fake video. Hiragi wants to show how quickly their views against someone change while sitting on their home couches. They also thought at one time that Hiragi was the hero because he was doing all this to uncover the truth about Reina's case. But when it turned out that Hiragi was in that video, everybody changed their point of view about him. Hiragi also shows the complete video of that male and female going to that building. It turns out that the female is not Reina but is carrying a bag of her. They made that fake video while working with the police chief to show the public how their views against a person change quickly. They type and post anything they want, but they don't think about whether it will affect anyone or not. Hiragi says that it is the most modern way of hurting people without considering that they have actually hurt someone. Reina was also hurt by all of these ordinary people who kept on blaming her without knowing the true facts about her. He emphasizes the need to judge people based on their real-life experiences, and not by some social media app posts. He also focuses on not sharing anything with others without any credential source backing it. Here, he ends his conversation, and then exits the live stream. He walks towards the bank of the rooftop. Meanwhile, Sakura comes there, and she sees him going toward the end of the rooftop. When Hiragi jumps from the building to end his life, Sakura comes there and holds his hand. Here, Sakura remembers that the same thing happened in Reina's case. And now, again, someone is asking her to leave his hand because he wants to escape this misery. Hiragi asks him to let him go, the same as Reina did. But Sakura is holding his hand tight, though it is slipping from her hands. She is trying her utmost to hold him. Tears are flowing from her eyes as she doesn't want another person to slip from her hands. Then, the other students come from behind and hold Hiragi's hand. They pull him up on the rooftop. Here, Hiragi takes his glasses and teaches Sakura that she was not the reason behind Reina's death. As she did her utmost to save Hiragi, she did the same when Reina was going to fall from the building, but no one was there to help her as the other student did today. So, she should not blame herself for the death of Reina. Then Hiragi says that the class ended here, and now his students have graduated. Now, they can see through the things clearly in their lives. He also reveals that he fears death and doesn't want to die when he jumps from the rooftop. He just did this to teach a lesson to Sakura and his whole class. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Gunji arrives and arrests Hiragi for damaging the school's property. Hiragi bids farewell to his students and then leaves. After some years, we see that the class is gathered in that classroom again for a memorial of Hiragi. He died 2 years ago due to his cancer, but still, his memories are warm in the hearts of all of his students, especially Sakura.